There are certain mistakes that are fatal. Driving while drunk, shooting someone out of anger, or assaulting someone. There's certain mistakes that you shouldn't do. Now, none of my mistakes in my life are any heavier than others, but I'll give general advice, not necessarily things that I've done myself, but things I've seen or heard people experience that I learned that you shouldn't do. The first thing, taking drugs way too early or at all if you are mentally unstable. So, some people are prone to diseases like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder or other things. And yes, they'll be normal in most situations, but if you put them on a stimulant like methamphetamine, or if you put them on some psychedelic or delirium, they will completely shatter, and some of them may not even recover. So if you have family predisposed to mental illness, do not take stimulants and do not take psychedelics. When you are in your 60s or 70s, do whatever you want, because at that point you're old. Although you have your whole life ahead of you at 60 or 70, nothing you can do will dramatically ruin your life at that point. So if you want to experience psychedelics, either be over the age of 40 or 50 or 60, or you have to be in a strong mental place. Because, no, I don't even want to say you have to be in a strong mental place. I think you shouldn't take them all at all if you are below a certain age. So don't do it. And the reason why I say this is because I've seen several people who washed out of high school, washed out of college, because they weren't able to handle themselves in this manner. They weren't prepared, or they've seen things they weren't supposed to see at that time. As they say, certain spiritual practices shouldn't be done before the age of 40. And that is very true. All right, the second thing, being quick to anger and being quick to react in anger. Some of the worst decisions you can make are in a heightened state of emotions. So it's better to extricate yourself from any altercation or any situation where you are extremely heated. Like if you're in a fight with family, or you're in a fight with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever. If you are in a heated situation, try to calm things down for yourself, and if necessary, leave the situation. I know some people will find it hard if you avoid the conflict now, but it's better than flying off the handle and becoming violent or becoming angry or doing something you would regret, or saying something you would regret. Many people have lost careers, have lost their spouses, have lost a lot of friends because they weren't able to control themselves. All right, so next is stuff of ignorance, I would say, or stuff of foolishness. So pretty much this is anything your parents tell you not to do in cases of put your seatbelt before you go in the car or something. It's like the basic things. Not sometimes your parents could be unreasonable, and many people can be very unreasonable, give unreasonable demands to you. But the basic stuff, listen to your parents about it. So things like wash your hands before you eat, things, there's certain basic things. Brush your teeth, eat healthy, exercise if you can. All of these things are critical advice because, there are people who haven't done these things and they severely regret it. Some people's teeth are rotting because they don't brush their teeth. Some people don't, some people have all types of diseases because they didn't wash their hands before they eat, or they didn't shower before doing whatever they need to do. How many STDs could have been prevented if people took practices to take care of themselves before having sex? Anyways, all of these topics are important topics, but those are the main things I'm very worried about. And here are certain things you should do, but people avoid. And these are more of things of like regrets and mistakes that aren't mistakes of doing, but mistakes of not doing. So for example, if you want to go to school and you have a passion for medicine, do whatever it takes to get into the medical field. Do all the studying, take it seriously. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if you try and commit to it with a deep manner, you will not regret it. Another thing, asking people on dates that you like, even if you're a woman. Some men are shy, some women are shy, but I would have never met the girl I'm with had I not reached out to her at that random place where I met her. And I would have regretted that decision for life. I would have been thinking, what could have been had I talked to her? But all because I was assertive enough and had the confidence to talk to the people I wanted to talk to. It worked out well. But this may not work for everyone because, this is why like a lot of people talk about the looks maxing thing, which is part of the things you should do, taking care of yourself. Some people, because they don't look as good, they're not as naturally attractive, or they're unlucky, aren't able to get into relationships. And part of this is this self-defeating cycle of, I feel ugly, so I don't take care of myself, so I don't try to meet people. So, and then when they do meet someone and they try to talk to them, they insult them or something bad happens. And there's been many cases where I've been insulted or like for my looks, or like people have roasted me, or like, girls have rebuffed me. But all of those situations weren't because I didn't take care of myself, although I could take better care of myself. Look how I look, of course. But they mainly had more to do with them than me. Obviously you shouldn't ask people out at work, but people outside of your workplace, people who you potentially have that potential desire for, people in your friend groups, people who you go to church with, all of those people can provide value to you. And if you're willing to make friends or go into relationships with people, all you have to do is reach out. Another thing people don't do that they regret, not keeping in touch with old friends. I care about a lot of people I've met, and not everyone has reached out to me. So I reach out to some old friends, and obviously I value their input, they value my input, but we have a good relationship, a good working relationship with most of my friends that I've met over the course of my life, most of my close friends at least. I try to remain in contact with everyone that I grew up with. And, as people get older, people grow more distant, and that's natural, of course, but you don't want to spend your lifetime wondering, oh, what did my friend do? Like, why did he die after like 30 years and I never talked to him after high school? That is a big regret, and that is a huge mistake. So don't do that. I can't think of anything else, but let me know in the comments, what are some mistakes you've made that you regret, Or what are some things you didn't do that you wish you did? Make sure to understand your own situation and understand that there's always a second chance. That's it. Thank you.